Wow, hello and welcome back to another Nulyweds vlog. Everyone really liked the last one, so I thought I would try and make vlogs a weekly thing. This week we are going to be talking about 5 more reasons why you should get married in Portugal. Many moons ago I wrote a blog and did a video on the 5 reasons to get married in Portugal, and I thought I would build on those and add another 5. So for today's vlog we're actually going to go to one of my favourite towns in all of Portugal called Óbidos. It's a walled city. It's very, very charming, very unique, and I know that you're going to love it. So let's go for a little drive.
1 hour later.
Welcome to Óbidos. The first reason to get married in Portugal is that it's one of the most English-speaking countries in Southern Europe, well, in all of Europe really. If you are an English speaker and it's important to you to feel that you can communicate quite easily, then Portugal is not a bad option for you at all. In fact, English is a very, very common second language for the Portuguese. They learn it from a very early age, and it means that particularly in the cities, so Lisbon, Porto, Aveiro, Guimarães, Braga, Faro, all of those places, you'll be able to get around really quite easily. Anywhere that has quite a big tourist population, even Óbidos, you can speak English quite easily. Now, on this point, I'm not someone who advocates for not trying to speak the local language. Portuguese is a difficult language to learn and a difficult language to speak, but learning a few phrases before you come over is really, really welcomed. Reason to get married in Portugal is that they massively over-deliver on food. Wedding menus are gigantic in Portugal. It's all about food. People often eat for about 4 hours in Portuguese weddings. From cocktail hour, you have over 20 canapes and often really plentiful buffet tables, seafood, cold cuts, cheese, and of course all of the free drinks. And then into dinner, you have a starter, a fish dish, a palate cleanser in between, which is usually a sorbet, possibly mixed with port or another type of a meat dish, and a dessert. Obviously, if you are vegetarian or vegan, then you would have 2 vegan dishes. It's not a choice either or, you have both main dishes and then dessert. And then in the evening you have dessert buffet tables, which usually contain little pastries like pastéis de nata and other regional favorites. And then you also have a traditional soup, which is caldo verde, which is a green soup, and usually like a pork steak sandwich. But often if you're getting married abroad, you can customize that and maybe bring something from your own country. Maybe you prefer to have a kebab at the end of the night, who knows. But Portuguese definitely deliver really highly on their food and over deliver oftentimes. The third reason why you want to get married in Portugal is that you can be yourself. Portugal is known for being one of the safest countries in the world, but also as a person of colour, I have suffered very few instances of prejudice or discrimination. The same goes for the LGBT community and for religious people. There is very, very few instances of hate among the Portuguese, and it means that it's a really safe and freeing place to get married. One thing to note is that only Catholic weddings are legally binding in Portugal, so I advise that you have your legal ceremony in your home country and have a religious blessing in Portugal. It's way easier anyway, and I advise that for everyone, whether it's a civil wedding or a religious wedding. But Portugal allows you to really be yourself and to really make your wedding your own. Another reason to get married in Portugal is its distinctive faded glamour. Now, one of the most untranslatable words in the world is actually from the Portuguese language, and it's saudade. And this kind of means a longing for the past. It's a type of nostalgia, but you can also say it about people, that you miss them, that you long for them, and it's something very distinctly Portuguese. And you can really feel that in its walls, in its flaking paint, in its faded glamour, because they're not trying to make things perfect and pristine. And what I mean by this is, as we walk around Óbidos, you'll see a lot of flaking paint and a vintage feel, a worn down kind of shabby chic. And if you compare this to other European countries, like say Greece, for example, where everything is really pristine and white and shiny and perfected, Portugal is not like that, and that is part of its charm. It's got this kind of worn down faded glamour that people just love so much. It gives it so much character and a real sense of authenticity and down-to-earthness that you can't get in a lot of other countries. Final reason to get married in Portugal is that you'll be introducing your guests to a whole new experience. Maybe it's a new experience for you too. Maybe you've never been to Portugal. I've done weddings where the couple has never been to Portugal before. That also happens. How many of your friends and family have actually been to Portugal and experienced it, maybe past the Algarve, you know, past the beaches, actually gone deep into the flaps and folds of this country and really gotten to know it? How many of you had even heard of Óbidos before I took you here today? And look how special it is. Look how wonderful a place, a gem this is. Portugal is full of places like this. I'm so passionate about this country and really discovering all of the really cool little towns. I still have so much more to learn, and I think getting married here gives you the opportunity to see Portugal with completely fresh eyes. I hope that you really enjoyed this vlog around Óbidos this morning. Subscribe for more destination wedding tips every single week, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.